Sponsors. Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hey, welcome to another Ask the Experts, where we bring in South Florida's finest experts in the field of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Tonight's show is very special to me. We are in 8 cities across the country, and I guess our estate planning is one of our top shows across the country. But tonight's show, our estate planning show, we're actually going to be talking probate. I love this firm because the senior partner, Ryan Smoller, makes it so easy to understand. And if there was a prize to win for our 8 shows across the country for estate planning, Ryan Smoller would win it. Hello, Ryan.
Hey, how are you, Steve-O?
How about that for an opening?
Yeah, hey, I appreciate it.
I mean it.
You make sense. I'm sold.
So, you know what? First of all, I love the way that somebody can call you up, make an appointment. They can either Zoom in or come into your office, and they can sit down at no charge for you to look at their stuff.
Yes, Steve-O, you mentioned 2 very important things. One, I offer free consultations, and that includes free document reviews. And 2, depending if the client wishes to do it in person, over the phone, or via, like you said, a Zoom call, we can accommodate. So a lot of different options, and at no cost to the individual, just free information, and that allows everyone to make informed decisions.
So that means if you are in Dade County or Broward County, because your office is in Palm Beach County, it doesn't matter because you can Zoom right in. You don't even have to go to their office.
Yeah, so our office is in Lantana, which is between Boynton and Lake Worth. But we actually service, like you said, people from Miami all the way through the Treasure Coast, because of the fact that we're able to work remotely, and we're able to meet clients whether or not they can make it to the office or not.
Tell everybody, because we always get new people every week, tell everybody about your firm. First of all, it's called Elder Law is the name of the firm.
Yes, so the name fits. So the name of the firm is actually Elder Law. Myself, as the attorney, has been practicing elder law for about 10 years now. And the entire firm focuses its practice on elder advocacy. And so that's everything from simple advance directives to creating an estate plan to guardianship, all the way through the more unfortunate events where we help individuals after death. And we also do a lot of Medicaid planning. So in the area of elder law, if you need skilled nursing and you don't know how to pay for it, or you don't want to pay $10,000 to $12,000 a month, elder law can help protect your assets and submit an application so that those skilled nursing costs will be picked up by the state. And so that's a wide range of different topics or practice areas, but they all fall into the category of elder law and elder advocacy.
And you can't leave out wills either.
No, right. So when we talk about an estate plan, it's anything from the advance directives to a simple will to a family trust. I just completed actually 2 special needs trusts where the family wanted to leave things to their siblings, but the siblings have developmental disorders and will not ever be able to hold a job. And so they are on public benefits. And so the family said, well, I still want to, they actually came into the office and said, we can't leave anything to our brother because of his disability and he's on public benefits. And I was able to educate them and say, well, no, you should be able to leave something to him. And we can do it in a way that won't eliminate his public benefits in the future. So we can help the very simple, new family all the way to the special needs and late life planners.
Why do you think that people don't plan?
So a couple reasons. I think one, the comical one is they think it's a jinx. I think if they immediately, you hear that from, it depends on the family, but a lot of people just feel that if they're talking about it, they're putting that energy out there and they're closer to death, which is really the exact opposite. Once you do it, you're now safe whether or not you fall on hard times or not. The other reason, Steve-O, I think it's difficult to face. People don't want to come to the realization or be told that their life is finite or that they're getting close to the end. And so it's kind of like when you're on vacation. You don't want to look at the time and see what time you have your flight tomorrow, right?
Right.
So very often the clients think that or kind of go into that, if I don't talk about it, I don't have to think about it. And so really at the end of the consultation, I tell my clients, look, if I've done my job and you've been thorough in the information you've given me, this is the last time you'll have to talk about this. We'll create some documents, we'll sign them, we'll make sure they're signed properly. You'll hand them out to the people in your family who you trust, and then you put them in a drawer or you put them in your cabinet, and you don't need to harp on it. So I think the reasons are psychological, but part of being an elder law attorney is being patient and explaining to families that the inevitable is going to occur. We might as well take care of it now and not have to think about it while it's happening, and that causes even more stress.
Well, I know we're talking about probate law tonight, but one other question. How often should someone come in and sit down with you and go over what they have?
Good question. And this is a good question for a couple reasons. So a lot of times I get the question where, Ryan, I moved from a new state. I got to redo my documents. And that's not always true. So to answer your question, certainly when you come from another state, you should have your documents reviewed. It doesn't necessarily mean you need to redo them or change them. Second, I think if there was a change of family dynamics, so whether there was a new child, whether there was a death in the family, whether there was a marriage, or whether there was a change of heart, meaning there was a child or a loved one who you either fell out of touch with or came back into your life. And then finally, I think whenever you're ready to admit that before death there might be expenses that you cannot cover, and that your insurance won't cover. So those three reasons: change of place, change of family dynamics, or planning for not just death, but planning for late in life skilled medical needs.
Okay. So we're going to move over to probate. What are the costs of probate?
Yeah, so interesting, and it's tough to talk about fees and costs generally, but I'll do my best. So to open a probate in Palm Beach County is $401. 9 out of 10 times, you're also going to have to publish a notice in the newspaper, at least one, which costs around $200. So without even starting to pay the attorney, without even me needing to know what's in the estate, your costs are going to be about $600 to $800.
And those are fixed.
And those are fixed. And then if you have multiple beneficiaries in your family, what's going to happen is the attorney you hire is going to have to send them mail, and very often it's going to have to be certified. So you got to think, $4, $5, $6 for each of those certified letters. So very quickly you get up to just $1,000 in costs. That's just costs. And the reason I'm making it such a point is that that's before the attorney or the law firm takes their fee. Because really what I want to get into, I think we're going to talk about it after the break, is how to avoid probate. So the cost of probate are about $1,000, maybe give or take. The fees are going to range from a couple thousand to maybe 10 to 15,000. And so really the idea of us talking, I think, would be to educate people on how to avoid probate.
Right. Wow, I didn't realize it was so expensive. But
Yes, Steve-O,
go
I had a
ahead.
client this week. Yeah, I had a client this week, and we're at the end of his probate. He's the son, right? The good son, as they say. He was the son who's been administering his father's estate for the last however long it's been, 6 to 8 months in my office. We had to ask the court to reimburse him $17,000 because that's the amount of money he expended on costs and fees and chasing his family around over the last 9 months to finish this probate. Um, and so every time he comes to my office and rolls his eyes about the costs, I tell him, if your father just did a couple things before he died, probably could have saved $15,000. And so, talking about fees and costs is never easy, but the state of Florida wants to make sure that there's no fraud. The state of Florida wants to make sure that all creditors are paid. The state of Florida wants to make sure that all beneficiaries have an equal right to know what's going on and to be involved. And so we're playing Mother May I with the court throughout, and that racks up fees because it's time and paper that need to be expended to talk to the court.
Well, then I've got to tell you, we're going to go to break right now. But how to avoid probate is going to be really big. Give everybody your phone number, Ryan.
Yes, phone number at Elder Law PA is 561-588-7512. Again, 561-588-7512.
And you're right over there on 301 East Ocean Avenue. It is so easy to find off of 95. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll be back with more with attorney Ryan Smoller, and we're going to talk about how to avoid these high probate costs. We'll be right back.
At Elder Law PA, they bring you the support, experience, and knowledge necessary to aid you in determining how to distribute or manage your estate after your death. This can also include your wishes regarding dependent children, individual with special needs, and pets. Effective estate planning may help avoid costly conflicts between heirs. Elder Law PA handles such cases as Medicaid planning, wills, guardianship, probate and trust, estate planning, and special needs planning. In Florida, there are several strategies available to protect your savings and assets before you apply for Medicaid, as well as programs to offset the cost of home care, assisted living, and nursing homes. The Florida Supreme Court has declared that Florida Medicaid planning activities shall only be performed by an attorney licensed by the Florida Bar. At Elder Law PA, where they have the knowledge and compassion to protect your legacy. Contact Elder Law today for a peace of mind at 561-588-7512. That's 561-588-7512.
And we are back. This is the Ask the Expert show. I am host Steve-O. We're on every Thursday night from 6 to 7. We're here tonight with Elder Law. That's the name of the practice, and it's perfect for what they do. Ryan Smoller, attorney Ryan Smoller, owns Elder Law, and we're talking about probate tonight. And you just heard how expensive probate can get. So, Ryan, how do you avoid having to come up with all this money?
Yeah, so interesting question, and every client's different, right? I'll start off with the very
Right.
generic attorney answer. But it could be as simple as, first we really need to know what you own. And for a lot of people, if their biggest asset and their only asset is their home, we can accomplish the same thing that 17 or that 9-month probate would do by creating a deed that allows you to keep the home while you're living, and at your passing, pass it immediately to your family. Another option would be to utilizing the banks or the financial institutions. They would allow you to add beneficiaries directly to your accounts. If you're leaving things evenly to your family, that's a perfect solution. A lot of times it's not that simple because families or, parents have different distribution ideas. But if things are simple and everything is going equally, you can absolutely use the financial institution directives or the bank's pay on death directives. And finally, if you're a little bit more complicated and you have more than a couple accounts and you have more than a couple properties, or you have properties that are also located out of state, and maybe you want to leave a little bit to your grandkids and some to your children and some to charity, then you come in and we create what's called a revocable trust or a family trust. And Steve-O, the idea of a family trust or revocable trust is, I'm telling you, Steve-O, I don't want to go to court and I don't want the judge to be in charge. I trust you enough to take my assets when I die and pass them out. So I'm entrusting you. If I handed you a $20 bill today and I said, go pay that man across the street, technically I've created a trust because I'm entrusting you to take my money, even though you're holding it, and go do something with it. And so with a trust, with a family trust, we're doing that same thing, but on a much bigger scale as far as the amount of assets we're passing. But really, if I'm a parent, I'm telling my oldest son or whoever I trust, take all of my money. Here's a list of directives when I die, and make sure you follow these directives. There will be no court involved. So obviously we're trading convenience for honesty or trust, we'll say. Because if you don't trust the person, there's usually not too many people looking over his shoulder. And so really a family trust is an absolutely, or a revocable trust is a great idea. I do want to mention,
like revocable trust?
I love them. Sometimes I sit there with clients and they ask me if they can do this, can they leave it this way, can they do that? And I fold my arms and I smile and I say, as long as it's not illegal, you can do it. For instance, I had a client who his brother stole $20 from him 30 years ago. And so this guy still held a grudge. So there is a provision in this man's trust that says, upon my brother turning in a receipt for beer and cigarettes, the trustee is authorized to pay him $20. And I always tell that story because it really shows you can put anything in your trust as long as it's not illegal. It can be spiteful, it can be specific, it can be unique, it can be to save someone from themselves. For instance, if you have a family member who's going through substance abuse or who just plain doesn't know how to save money, you can tell your trustee that you want to set it up as an allowance, that you only release a couple thousand every month or a couple $100 every month, so as to save your daughter or your son from themselves, so they don't go blow it on their new girlfriend or whatever it may be. So I love trust because of the creativity that you can use when creating how to distribute to people.
Well, how does a person know if they do need a trust?
So again, Steve-O, the simple answer is I do free consultations. So the simple answer is consult with an elder law or an estate planning attorney. Make sure you have an idea of your assets, an idea of who in your life you want to leave things to. But if someone on the radio is listening, really what I say is, if you're not leaving it equal to all your family, or you own more than 2 bank accounts, or you own more than one piece of real estate, a trust is probably the best avenue for you.
Okay. What if a person doesn't have a family?
So I encounter those clients all the time. I have a client right now who's leaving her home, which is her only asset, to Peggy Adams, the animal sanctuary in West Palm Beach. And she is actually telling the trustee to sell her home, take the cash, and hand it to Peggy Adams.
Wow.
So a trust, yeah. So a trust can also be used to fund or to leave gifts or to leave legacies to your favorite charity or to your place of worship or to your alma mater. I have clients who leave gifts to their school, to their colleges. So if you don't have family, there's still, and you do have assets, there is usually someone in your life, whether it's a person or an entity, who would be very grateful to have a gift left. A trust can absolutely help you out. And if you're looking to avoid certain estate taxes, leaving money in a charitable trust to some sort of charity can actually help you reduce your estate taxes if you fall into an asset bracket where you do have estate taxes.
What if someone doesn't put their, their money in a trust? Can the state take some of it when they pass?
The state won't take some of it, but I think what you're asking is, let's say you have a bank account and you have no family. And so when you pass away, that account is just left.
Right.
After 7 years, the bank will send that money to the treasury up in Tallahassee. And so the state won't necessarily take your money, but they'll just hold it there until someone claims it.
Gotcha.
And so it's not that they'll just take it and run away with it, but they'll kind of hold it in a treasury until someone comes and claims it. And it's as you would imagine, quite the process to get it out.
Now, what if someone's in a second marriage? Does that make a difference?
Absolutely, Steve-O. So I speak to clients that are in a second marriage and their children, or they have children from previous marriages or previous relationships. And it's really important to bring that up when you speak to an attorney, because by law, if you all don't plan specifically, there's a good chance that the survivor is going to take mostly everything. And so that's where we would work on a prenuptial or a postnuptial agreement before we even talk about the trusts. So I'm glad you brought that up. If you're in a second marriage and you want to leave your spouse everything, or you want to leave your spouse some, or you all say, what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours, and we're only in this for the love, honey, it's still important to come meet with an estate planner or an elder law attorney to make sure you know exactly what's going to happen at death or divorce. If you're sitting with me, I promise you're going to leave with education. I hope you leave with an estate plan and you leave with some documents to help you, but at worst, you'll leave with some facts and some things to chew on that you probably didn't know before you came in my office.
Well, we only have a few minutes. I want to tell people that, it's so important that you trust the firm that's handling your estate planning. Very important that you form a relationship with them. And that's exactly what Elder Law does and Ryan Smoller does. And I got to tell you, this is the whole purpose of this show, so that you don't have to go thumb through Google. Used to be Yellow Pages, but you don't have to go through Google. Again, the name of the firm is Elder Law, Ryan Smoller. Ryan, give everybody your phone number and your website address.
Yeah, thanks, Steve-O. So again, Ryan Smoller, on behalf of Elder Law PA, our number is 561-588-7512, and you can check us out online at elderlawfl.com. We also have an Instagram, elderlawfl, but free consultations, give us a call, 561-588-7512.
You're the best. I love it when you come on. You'll be back again next month with more experts. We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we have tropical trade winds. We're going to be talking about weather and leaks, roofing, and all kind of stuff. We'll be right back. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Steve-O.